Hello and welcome to Esther's Gardening Adventures. I'm Esther and today is the day I give week 6 tour of my garden. So much has changed, and really the big theme I think for this week is that we're finally, late May, we're finally shifting to our summer garden from our spring garden. Most of the spring plants that I have, the ones that thrive best in cool weather, are either starting to go to seed, or I've harvested them like the radishes, or they have maybe a week or two at most left of their time. For example, my beets have a little bit longer left. But I've planted up a bunch of summer veggies and I still have more to go, so there'll be more updates to give next week. But I just want to show you the changes I've made, the majority of which are in the front full sun garden area. If you can see, there's some sign of it behind me. All right, so let's go check it out. Although it's not the biggest change, I'm going to start off with this bed. First of all, the garlic scapes, the round, let's see, there's one with an actual bend to it. The garlic scapes are just about ready to harvest. In fact, I could probably harvest this one. So they're starting to come up, which means that we're getting about a month away from harvesting the garlic itself, which is exciting. I think a month. I didn't double check that. I transplanted my red coxcomb plants to this bed. They're looking a little worse for the wear, but hopefully now that they're in, they can figure things out and thrive. I believe we have a volunteer borage plant, B-O-R-A-G-E. I had grown it in this bed, and that looks very much to me like it is. Tell me if you think I'm right. I haven't done the plant app to check it, but if so, I'm 100% going to leave that in. I have not decided what to do yet with the cabbage plants in here, and you know what? I may just leave them and see what happens. But the biggest change of all is here in the middle. I have planted up 9 tomato plants, and in some of them I put in this one. I think it's just the cold that we had recently. Hopefully it'll be okay soon. Basil, I planted up some basil. So this is my, what I believe will be yellow pear, but it also could, this is the mystery, one of the 2 mystery tomatoes, either yellow pear or Gardener's Delight. And you'll notice I put this in with them, and the reason I do that, this red solo cup half, it really is just the cut top of it, see? Top half of it. And the reason I do that is to help keep out the bugs that will cut the tomatoes at their base and kill them off. So we have our cherry tomato, a Rutgers here, a Brandywine there, another Rutgers, an Abe Lincoln, Hillbilly Flame, another Rutgers. I don't think that's a Rutgers. Uh-oh, guys. We're going to find out. I think we have another mystery tomato. This is the other mystery Gardener's Delight one. And this is Aroma. You may notice this white stuff. This, or sort of yellow colored stuff. These are rice hulls. And YouTube channel I watch, I think it's, I'll have his link up above, with Black Gumbo Gardening, Scott. He recommended getting rice hulls, and I've been using it as a mulch on my container beds to help, because they dry out so fast, to help keep them moist. And so far it seems to be working pretty well. If I dig down here, look how nice and dark and wet that looks. And that would be very dry looking if I didn't have that on it, from past experience. Another development is, check it out, my first flower bloom. This is a calendula flower. Check out that gorgeous color, guys, and the sun isn't even out, and it is stunning. Stunning, stunning calendula flower. Yay! So that gives you an idea of this. Now this is what I'm super excited about. Look, I finally have beets growing. Actual beets at the bottom of these plants. And they are small, and I'm not seeing it for all of them yet. One down there, right there. So some of these are producing the beetroot, and hopefully, now based on how big they are, I know they'll be smaller because I'm growing them together, and that's fine. But I would like your suggestions on when it's best to harvest. Now that I've seen some developing, should I wait 2 weeks, 1 week? What do you guys think? I also potted up the Caserta zucchini, one of the Caserta zucchini plants. I put bridal tool around it for now, but it is not super secure. Bugs could get in there if they really wanted to. And I need to find my clips to secure it better so they can't get in. But I figured a little bit of protection is better than nothing at the moment to keep the squash bugs out. Hopefully it'll give this plant a good start on life. One other thing that's new since the last time I gave a update is I planted out my Indian wood oats. I put a little bit of this around it, partly to help me identify it, but also to keep the ground moist, and it is certainly doing that, which is wonderful. I tried both planting an individual wood oat to see what would happen, as well as a set of, this looks like 4 wood oats together. Same over here, I planted a set of 4 wood oats together. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they grow, how they do, if they thrive. I've heard that they can handle part shade, and this is a part shade area. It does get some sun in the day, but not a huge amount. And you know, since I'm not going to be eating from it, I'm not as worried about it being near the area where they sprayed the termite treatment. I probably should harvest the cilantro today because it's going to be super hot tomorrow. It's going to be in the 80s today. But the flower bed around the base of the tree is coming along nicely. I have planted up this bed. If you remember, I moved this soil. Now there was already a semi-bed. I had created a semi-bed here like I had of this kind of thing, but you can see I built up the soil here when I had to dig up the soil from over where they were going to do the termite treatment. And I have planted tomatoes here. Now I know I planted these tomatoes way too close together. They're probably less than a foot apart, some of them, but maybe 1 to 2 feet apart on others. And I've interspersed with basil, a marigold plant or 2. And they seemed, this was 2 days ago, 3 days ago I planted them, and they seem to be doing well so far. I made sure to put some slow release organic plant food in the hole and mixed it into the soil because there was a lot of clay. There's a lot of other stuff that makes it harder for them to grow and to spread. And these things I got last year at Home Depot for like $5 each. They worked okay for the tomatoes. They weren't perfect, but I found because the ground has so many roots out underneath this bed that it is impossible to put anything of any thickness in there without drilling the hole first. And so I found that these fit in nicely, and those blue ones did as well. They still not as deep as I would like, but hopefully it will be enough to at least help the tomatoes until I figure out another option. So our tomato bed is finally coming to fruition, guys. Tomatoes. I know it'll be like 2 months till I have tomatoes, maybe a month and a half, but really looking forward to harvesting tomatoes. So I have Abe Lincoln. I think I put my Cherokee, purple Cherokee, and my green zebra tomatoes in this bed, as well as both of my Porco tomatoes, because I don't think Porcos really can handle being in containers because they make such massive tomatoes. I've mentioned before that growing native plants is part of my goal for this garden. And I just want to share with you, I need to look up the name of these, I'll put it at the top. These beautiful violet colored flowers. So pretty. Let's see if I can find some more. They're just tiny, tiny. They're very delicate. And I am 100% going to save the seeds. I'm going to put a little bag around these and save the seeds to grow more. But when I moved in, this area here was just maybe 2 of these wildflower plants. These are native to the area. And now every spring I am blessed with beautiful, every year it grows. It's migrated over here now. I saw some in the backyard as well. Now I did step on these, but that's their fault for growing where I walk. I can't help that part. But yeah, really, really excited to see these native plants growing on their own in my yard. While the biggest changes have been in the front, there have also been some in the back. For starters, the cicada are in full force. Yes, Mr. Cicada. Just help flip them over. They're everywhere. I'm not worried. We don't have any new trees. They don't eat plant life like these kinds of plants, so I'm not that worried. However, you may notice I have something holding up the sunflower plant, and that's because somebody came along, and I don't know if you can see there, it's bent. I need to do something to help hold it up better. Some critter came along, ate off a bunch of the leaves, and I'm trying to support it until I add a stick next to it to hold it up, because it's still alive. So this may be our last hope for sunflowers for this area, since we lost the one that was over there. But that's okay. I knew that this was a risk that also, now that I think about it, growing it along a fence gives squirrels ample opportunity to eat it. So yeah, you know, this is a test and experiment, and we're learning as we go. Another big change is I have a lot less plants on my deck right now. These are the remainder of the plants that I haven't moved to the front that are for me, not counting peppers. These are the plants for my mom, which we're aiming to plant up this weekend. I opened up the orange bell pepper seedlings yesterday, and today I'm giving them sun. And the peppers are coming along nicely. We're going to have a couple of really hot days, so I expect that the peppers will thrive. They love heat, and I'm really looking forward to planting them up this weekend or the weekend after for my garden, and then for my mom this weekend. We have our first chamomile flower blossom. It's a nice big one. I'm going to pick it, of course, so that it continues to grow more. This is from the plant that they had all been clumped together at the beginning of the spring, and I separated them into 3. And the one that I didn't have to move is the one that's doing the best, not surprisingly. Well, my fight with the critters continues, and oh, they got even more, those punks. And I have decided to, I haven't done it yet, but I've decided to pull up the lettuce because the critter keeps getting in, keeps finding its way in, and really likes the lettuce. And I'm going to try planting green beans here and see how it does. I got some good harvests out of it, and you know, it's all a lesson learned. As for the raspberry plants, they're looking really robust. Look how big. Raspberries. We're going to have raspberries soon. The raspberry plant is growing many raspberries, and I'm sure the birds are watching close too. So I may have to put some kind of netting, maybe even just something as simple as bridle tool over it to help reduce the use of it. As I said, we're in for a couple of hot days, and I'm hoping it won't stop the sugar snap peas from growing, because look how tall they are now. They're taller than me, some of them. And today is going to be in 80s. Tomorrow it's going to hit 90, or this week it's going to hit 90. So I'm not going to do anything with the peas, but I am about to harvest the some more Mizuna mustard, because I know it'll bolt in this kind of heat. In fact, it looks like it may already be in the process of bolting. So I'm going to harvest all the leaves today, I think, and have that in a stir fry. I wanted to mention we have a volunteer from last year. We have a volunteer Swiss chard in this bed, and I'm going to let it go, but I'm going to be converting the rest of this bed where we don't have the nasturtiums to green beans. But before I harvest these spinach leaves, look how massive these guys are. Bigger than the palm of my hand. I mean, this is a beautiful type. I'm going to grow it again next year. Every day I've been harvesting 4 or 5 of these leaves and putting them in my, in fact, I'm going to do it now because I see they are about to go to seed. See the nice flower there? So yeah, I'm going to pull all these guys up. Have a really nice stir fry with our dinner tonight. Look how much I have. So much. That's gonna, now you know spinach goes down to a very small size, but this is a good amount of greens. Oh yeah. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button If you aren't already a subscriber, please consider doing so, and otherwise, I'll see you next time.